Hello, my name is Jessica Debratibevelia. Today I will to do my final project, classroom management. It have two parts. Part one have three topic and part two solving three problems. But I will start from part one first. The first topic is teaching tolerance. Today's classroom consists of students from different culture, religion, language, abilities, and personal background. These differences make the classroom more diverse and interesting because students can learn from one another. However, if students do not understand how to respect differences, diversity can sometimes lead to prejudice, discrimination, bullying, or conflict. Therefore, teaching tolerance is very important because it helps students understand, respect, and appreciate differences. As a result, teacher can create a positive, inclusive, and supportive learning environment for all students. Next. Why teaching is important? Teaching tolerance play an important role in creating a healthy classroom environment. The first, it reduces bullying and discrimination. When students learn to respect differences, they are less likely to include or mistreat others because of their culture, religion, or background. The second point, it encourages empathy and mutual respect. Students learn to understand other people's feeling and perspective, which help them build positive relationship. The third point, it improves communication and teamwork. Students become more comfortable working with classmates who have different ideas and experiences. The fourth point, it helps students appreciate different perspectives. They learn that there is more than one way to think about problem or situation. Finally, it creates more positive classroom climate and students feel safe, respect, and confident to participate in learning activities. Next, we have classroom management strategies. Teacher can promote tolerance by applying effective classroom management strategies. The first point, teachers should establish clear classroom rules that encourage respect and inclusion. This rule helps students understand how they should treat one another. The second point, teacher can organize cooperative learning activities with diverse groups. Through group work, students learn how to communicate and collaborate with classmates from different backgrounds. The third point, teachers should encourage students express the different opinions respectfully. This helps students learn how to disagree politely without creating conflict. The fourth point, teacher must respond fairly and immediately to discriminatory behavior. This shows students that disrespectful behavior is unacceptable. Finally, teachers should model respectful communication and empathy in daily interaction. Students often learn by observing their teachers, so teachers should demonstrate positive behavior consistently. Next, we have teachers' roles and mini case study. Teachers have a very important role in creating an inclusive classroom. They should ensure that every student feels respect, support, and included. By treating students fairly and encouraging positive interaction, teachers help develop empathy and mutual respect. In this case study, two students refused to work with a classmate because of cultural differences. Teacher respond by reminding students about classroom values and the importance of respecting diversity. The teacher also reorganized the group fairly and leads a discussion about inclusion. As a result, the students began working together respectfully and the classroom become more supportive and inclusive. Okay, for the conclusion for this topic, teaching tolerance is an essential part of classroom management because it helps create a respectful, inclusive, and supportive learning environment through positive classroom management strategies and consistent teacher guidance. Students learn to appreciate diversity, build healthy relationships, and work together effectively. Next topic, the second topic is helping student handle anger, frustration, and aggression. Every student experiences emotions such as anger, frustration, and disappointment. These emotions are a normal part of life and growing up. However, when students do not know how to manage this emotion, they may display aggressive behavior that can disrupt the learning process. Therefore, teachers play an important role in helping students develop emotional control and learn healthier way to respond to challenges. Next, common causes of anger, frustration, and aggression. These are several reasons why students may become angry or aggressive. The first point, academic pressure or learning difficulties. Some students become frustrated when they struggle to understand, listen, or complete assignment. Second point, conflict with classmates. Argument or misunderstanding with friend can lead to anger and aggressive behavior. And the third point is family or personal problems. Issues outside the classroom can affect student emotion and behavior at school. Fourth point, feeling ignored, misunderstood, or treated unfairly. Students may react negatively when they feel that nobody understands them. And finally, difficulty managing emotions. Some students simply have not yet learned healthy way to express their feelings. Understanding these causes helps students helps helps teacher provides support rather than immediately punishing student. Next slides, we have classroom management strategies. Teacher can help students manage their emotion through several effective strategies. The first point, teachers should remain calm and respond respectfully during conflict. If a teacher reacts with anger, the situation may become worse. By staying calm, teachers show students how to handle emotion appropriately. As second point, teacher can teach healthy ways to express feeling. For example, students can be encouraged to talk about their feelings, write in a journal, or ask for help when they are upset. And for the third point, teacher can use positive reinforcement. Praising students when they handle their emotion well motivate them to continue showing positive behavior. And the fourth point, teachers should help students solve problems through discussion rather than punishment. This approach helps students understand their mistake and learn better ways to respond in the future. And finally, teachers should create a supportive classroom environment. When students feel safe and valued, they are more likely to share their concern and manage their emotion effectively. Next, we have teachers' role and mini case study. Teachers should recognize student emotion and listen actively their concern. Instead of immediately judging or punishing students, teachers should try to understand the reason behind their behavior. Building trust is important because students are more willing to accept guidance from teachers they trust. In this case study, a student become angry after receiving a low test score. The student argues with a classmate and throw a notebook onto the floor. The teacher stayed calm and give the student a few minutes to cool down. After that, the teacher talks privately with the student to understand the cause of frustration. Together, they discuss healthier way to express emotion and create a plan to improve future learning. As a result, the student feel understand, learn emotion controls, and participate more positively in the future lessons. The conclusion for this topic is helping students manage anger, frustration, and aggression is important part of classroom management. By creating a supportive classroom, teaching emotional supportive regulation and responding with empathy, teacher can reduce this destructive behavior and help students develop positive social and emotional skills. The third topic is disruptive behavior. A positive classroom environment is essential for effective learning. However, disruptive behavior can interrupt listen and make it difficult for students to concentrate. Disruptive behavior does not only affect the student who causes it, but it also affects the learned experience of the entire class. Therefore, teachers need effective classroom management strategies to address disruptive behavior while maintaining a supportive and respectful environment. Next, we have common cause of disruptive behavior. There are several reasons why students may display disruptive behavior. The first point, lack of interest of motivation. Students who are bored or not interested in listen may seek other active during class. And the second point, difficulty understanding the lesson. Some students become frustrated when they cannot follow the materials and may act out as a result. As a result, and the third, seeking attention. Certain students behave disruptively because they want attention from the teacher or classmates. And the fourth point, emotional or family-related problems. Personal challenges outside school can affect student behavior inside the classroom. Finally, unclear classroom expectation and rules. If students do not understand what behavior is expected, they may not follow classroom rule appropriately. Understanding this cause allows teacher to respond more effectively and provide the support student need. And next, we have classroom management strategies. Teacher manage disruptive behavior by using several classroom management strategies. The first one, teacher should establish clear rules, classroom rules, and expectation from the beginning. Students need to understand what behavior is acceptable and what is not. The second, teacher can use positive reinforcement. Praising students for appropriate behavior encourages them to continue making good choices. And the third one, teachers should provide clear and consistent consequences for inappropriate behavior. Consistency helps students understand that rules apply equally to everyone. And the fourth one, teachers should keep students actively engaged through interactive learning activities. Students are less likely to disrupt when they are interested and involved in this lesson. Finally, teachers should build positive relationship with students. Strong relationship encourage students to be more cooperative and responsible. And next, we have teacher roles and mini case study. Teachers should remain calm, fair, and consistent when responding to disruptive behavior. Rather than focusing only on punishment, teachers should try to identify the reason behind the behavior and help students make better choice. In this case study, a student frequently talks to classmates, interrupt the teacher, and distract order during a science lesson. The teacher first used a nonverbal reminder by moving closer to the student and making eye contact. This strategy helped correct the behavior without interrupting the lesson. When the behavior continued, the teacher talked privately with the student after class. Together, they discussed classroom expectation and set goals for improvement. As a result, the student becomes more aware of their behavior, participate more appropriately, and contribute to a procedure learning environment. And for the conclusion for this topic is disruptive behavior is a common challenge in the classroom, but it can be managed effectively through clear expectation, consistent classroom management, positive teacher-student relationship, and supportive guidance. When teachers focus on understanding students' needs rather than simply punishing them, they create a classroom where students can learn, grow, and behave responsibility. Next. Okay, now is part two is solving the problem. It have three problems. Problem number one. Mrs. Johnson is a fifth grade teacher who has been teaching for over 10 years. This year, she has a student named Alex who frequently display aggressive behavior. Alex often interrupts, listen, talks back to the teacher, and sometimes even becomes physically aggressive toward his classmates. Mrs. Johnson has tried various strategies to manage Alex's behavior, such as setting clear rules and consequences, positive transformer for good behavior, and speaking with Alex privately to understand the root of his aggression. However, despite her effort, Alex's behavior has not improved significantly. Okay, for the question, what classroom management techniques can Mrs. Johnson implement to address Alex's aggressive behavior? For the answer, to address Alex's aggressive behavior, Mrs. Johnson can create an individual behavior plan with clear rules, goals, rewards, and consequences to help him understand what behavior is expected. She can also teach Alex emotional control techniques such as taking deep breaths or taking a short break when he feels angry so he can manage his emotion better. In addition, Mrs. Johnson can work together with Alex's parents and the school counselor to identify the causes of his behavior and provide consistent support both at school and at home. Okay, next. We have problem number two is from Mr. Smith. Mr. Smith is a seventh grade math teacher who has noticed that several students in his class frequently engage in off-task behavior during lesson. These students often daydream, chat with classmates, or use their phone instead of focusing on their work. Despite Mr. Smith's attempts to redirect their attention and provide engaging activity, the problem persists. This off-text behavior is disrupting the learning environment and affecting the overall performer of the class. So the question, what strategies can Mr. Smith use to increase on task behavior and decrease of task behavior? For the answer, Mr. Smith can increase on task behavior by using more engaging learning activities such as group discussion, games, or problem-solving tasks to keep student interest in the lesson. He should also set clear classroom expectation about paying attention, participating, and using phones during class so students understand what is expected of them. In addition, Mr. Smith can use positive transformer by praising or rewarding students who stay focused, which can encourage them and their classmates to continue showing to positive behavior. Next, we have problem number three. or Miss Brown. Miss Brown is a eighth grade English teacher who is facing challenges with a student named Jack. Jack frequently exhibit disruptive behavior in class, such as talking out of turn, making inappropriate comments, and distracting other students. Despite Mrs. Brown attempts to manage the behavior through verbal warning and setting changes, Jack's behavior has not improved. This disruptive behavior is affecting the learning environment and making it difficult for other students to concentrate on their work. For the question, what specific strategies can Miss Brown implement to manage Jack's disruptive behavior? The answer, to manage Jack's disruptive behavior, Miss Brown can create behavior contract that clearly explanation explain classroom expectation, goals, rewards, and consequences. She can also use positive reinforcements by praising Jack whenever he's shown appropriate behavior, which can encourage him to continue making good choice. Furthermore, uh, Mr. Brown should build a positive relationship with Jack by talking with him regularly and listening to his concern. As this can help increase trust, cooperation, and positive behavior in the classroom. So, okay, that's all presentation. The presentation from me. Thank you.